23rd, 2024 council meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Here.
Ms. Walden,
Here.
Ms. Shinholster,
Here.
Mr. Reynolds, Ms. Mapp,
Here.
Mr. Chambers.
Here.
We have a quorum present and can continue with the meeting. I would like to invite Peggy Pulliam, who is the local coordinator for the National Day of Prayer, to come to the podium and lead us in prayer this evening. Let us stand.
Dear Father, creator of the universe, we just welcome you into this room and this meeting tonight, and I just thank you for each person that is here. Thank you for the leadership that run this city, Father. I pray that you will bless them and lead them and give them wisdom to make wise decisions in everything that they say and do, Father God. And we ask blessings over the city of Milledgeville and this county and the people who reside here. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Peggy. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we begin tonight, I would like to inform everyone that Mayor Copeland is participating in our meeting tonight by way of teleconference due to an ongoing health issue. We wish her a speedy recovery and hope to see her back here very soon. We'll move to the public comment portion of our meeting so that I can recognize anyone who signed up to speak. So we only have one person that has signed up. We're going to ask Morgan Scott to please step to the podium. And if you would, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Morgan Scott, and my address is 331 North Wayne Street, Milledgeville, Georgia. And so I am speaking on behalf of the SHINE program. My name is Morgan Scott, once again, the Active Living Coordinator, and SHINE stands for Supporting Health Initiatives and Nurturing Equity. And so, oh, I'm sorry.
What's that SHINE stand for?
Supporting Health Initiatives and Nurturing Equity.
Supporting
Health Initiatives and Nurturing Equity. Okay. And so my role is to have safe and accessible ways to increase physical activity. And so with that, we are trying to access physical activity in rural areas such as Baldwin County, and we are doing safe places to play and walk and increasing physical activity for community design. And so we know that the city of Milledgeville does have a complete street policy, and we are also doing a quick build, and this is SHINE's first quick build. And so what a quick build is, it is a temporary project for the public to see, and which leads to a permanent project to be in place. And so we are having Health in the Heights. It will be April 27th from 11 to 2, and it's going to demonstrate what it would be like for the public to see a pedestrian crosswalk and a bicycle lane in Oconee Heights. And so we're having kid-friendly games. Zumba will be in place. We're also having vendors come out and providing great resources, and also excuse me, I lost my train of thought. And also health screens by Georgia College. And to finish up my statement, I wanted to see about doing partnership opportunities, and also giving out my information and a little bit about SHINE. And that is all I have. And I also do have flyers to give out to each and every one of you. And that is it for me.
Thank you.
And I have Morgan's contact information. She and I did email before, and we didn't have time before her first event in Oconee Heights to have her come in and do a full presentation on the program and event because of what we have going on with budget presentations. But I'm sure she'll have future events, and she can come in and tell us about them at that point in time and give us a little more information on her program and her work through Shine. So.
Okay, that was the only person that signed up to speak tonight. So we'll move forward with the meeting. You all have received a copy of the April 9th, 2024 council meeting minutes. Are there any corrections that need to be made? Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
Second.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Walden?
Aye.
Shinholster?
Aye.
Ms. Mapp?
Aye.
Mr. Chambers?
Aye.
The minutes are approved. I'll move to the podium for the presentation of a National Day of Prayer proclamation and invite Peggy to come back to the podium for the presentation and anyone else that wants to join her.
Thank you.
That's Thursday.
I'm so happy to see this National Day of Prayer being recognized. I think prayer is so important to so many people in so many people's lives. So I'm going to ask this time for the clerk to read the proclamation.
Whereas throughout history, America has faced trials and triumphs, and Americans have responded in prayer, seeking courage and comfort, inspiration, and joy-filled celebration. Faith compels us to seek and cling to the light in times of darkness and spread light to those in need. Whereas from the first gathering of our founding fathers, elected officials have prayed and entreated those they have served and represent to join them in prayer, including the authors of the Declaration of Independence, who wrote that they, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assemble, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world, and carried on to present day in presidential proclamations, such as last year's initiative to join him in asking for God's continuous guidance, mercy, and protection. And whereas a National Day of Prayer has not only been a part of our heritage since it was declared by the First Continental Congress in 1775, but it is a public law established in the United States Congress in 1952, approved by joint resolution and amended by Congress and President Reagan with Public Law 100-307 in 1988, affirming that it is essential for us as a nation to pray, and directs the President of the United States to set aside the proclamation and proclaim the first Thursday of May annually as the National Day of Prayer Day. And whereas in every state across America, the observance of the National Day of Prayer will be held on Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, with the theme, Lift Up the World, Light Up the World, based on the verses found in 2 Samuel 22:29 through 31. For you are my lamp, O Lord, and my God lightens my darkness. This way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all those who take refuge in him. And whereas Unified prayer is mobilized across America every first Thursday of May on the National Day of Prayer as neighbors come together to join their hearts and voices in reading sacred scripture and attending services to seek God for the city and country where we live, learn, work, worship, serve, and desire all to thrive. And whereas we express our faith and exercise our freedom in prayer, then unite our hearts and voices in personal prayer and public gatherings across America with fervent praise, repentance, love, and humble intercession for our neighbor and nation, holding fast to the promises throughout the Holy Scriptures that the Lord hears and avails much as He answers the faith-filled prayers of His people. Now therefore I, Mary Parham Copeland, as Mayor of the City of Milledgeville, do hereby proclaim Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 as National Day of Prayer in the City of Milledgeville and encourage all citizens to reflect on the importance of God in our lives.
Okay. You want me to handle it? Next, we will have the final department budget presentations. I will recognize the city manager to introduce the departments that he has scheduled for tonight.
As you all know, we have our final three internal department head budget presentations tonight. And we will go just in random order as they are listed on the agenda, and we will start with Carlos Stewart.
The chair. You better vote.
I'm okay.
It is safer, isn't it?
It feels very exposed. Okay. Well, y'all know who I am, but today I really wanted to talk more about what Main Street does, so that I can just explain to you what our program does and why it's important. My request was I calculated it about a $10,000 increase over 5 line items. So most of it was based on the rising cost of doing business. But like I said, I felt that my best option tonight would be to share with you all the details from our past year to validate the effectiveness and importance of our department in promoting a sense of community that contributes to the economic, cultural, and social well-being of Milledgeville as a whole. So I'm just going to kind of bullet point all of the different things. Last year, Main Street planned and carried out 10 First Friday activities varying in themes from movie night to mini golf and even wrestling. Through placer data from the visitor center that they purchased, we have learned that each of our event evenings are more diverse and bring in 3,000 to 6,000 more people to downtown than on a non-event Friday night. So that is pretty significant. From our wonderful community, both individuals and businesses, supporting our program, we received over $30,000 in additional funds through the sponsorships to help grow First Fridays. We're very thankful for that. This year we were down a little bit, I assume probably from the economy, to about $25,000 in additional to what the city provides, what the DDA budget is. We also have the sponsorships. We are finishing up our second round of our Junior Board of Directors program with 16 juniors that are in the 4 different high schools in Milledgeville. They have met monthly, and they will have community art projects at the hometown celebration next week. And then they've participated each month in various activities. We've done the Chick-fil-A leadership. They got like a tour of downtown. They did a tour of the inn on Jefferson. They did a what's it called? Scavenger hunt throughout downtown. So just kind of getting them to know, or getting them used to downtown and what we have to offer. And then also participating in board meetings, and then this event that was supposed to be in March, but they're moving it because we were bringing it out in March. So they'll be having their 3 little art projects at hometown celebration next Friday. We partnered last year with Visit Milledgeville and the Georgia Beef Board, and through that partnership, we infused over $51,000 into our local community through Burger Week. The data showed that for every $1 we invested into that program, showed a $20 return. We also hosted a Christmas in July market to help local entrepreneurs sell their wares. This event had 47 vendors and raised $2,200, which really just went back into the event through advertising and such. We have a band here also. We also started our MVP program. It is Milledgeville Volunteer Program, and we have over 40 community members signed up that help volunteer during our events. I serve, as you guys know, with Steve on the CREATE program, which is cultivating rural entrepreneurs and transforming economies. I can't believe I did it. I usually
I'm
impressed.
stutter over that. But we have hosted 2 startup mixers, with another one scheduled for next Thursday. Each free mixer is hosted to engage the local entrepreneur economy by providing networking opportunities as well as a learning aspect involved. And we have seen, we've only had 2 now, but we've seen the crowd really network. We've seen some partnerships that have happened. I mean, would you agree with that, Steve? It's been a great program, and we plan to continue that. We have the one next week and then one scheduled again for August. On Facebook, we have over 10,000 followers and 2,000 followers on Instagram, so we have a good social media following. The Deep Roots Festival brought a record crowd of over 40,000 people in attendance. And this event is significant not only just for the economy in Milledgeville, but it donates $11,000 each year to the TDA, which funds, half of it funds our 50/50 facade match grant for downtown business owners, but it's also money for our projects and programs. We have been instrumental in helping to provide funding for 3 transformative projects downtown that you guys will be seeing come to fruition even in the next month. The new Metropolis project, Shima is having a redevelopment of their 2nd floor, and then what I call the falling down building on South Wade Street, which now is just the gutted building, which is still better. It's progress. But we've been instrumental in helping to provide funding for those 3 projects. Over the holidays, we hosted a Millie Market, and we had 15 vendors for that. We would have had a lot more, but the outdoor vendors got rained out, so we just gave them their money back. For our Trolley Express event, it is a 1-week event. We employ a lot of volunteers for that. But in that one-week event, we raised over $5,000 for downtown development and promotions. So we also created a space everyone can be proud of through our Adopt a Planner program that not only brought beauty to downtown, but it gave the community members a sense of ownership, which is, I've just sent out the email to get everyone to replant, and most people want to continue doing it. So it's a really good program. It has taken some off the city, Public Works Department. It's just something that I think has really been good, and it's a good feel-good program. We installed a new lit Millie sign that's visible when entering downtown from the east side, and it serves as a great entryway into downtown. That was all from grant money, so it wasn't money from the city. If you guys haven't seen it, it's right outside the pavilion. It's really nice. I'm currently working with partners for design for gateway and directional signage for our community. That'll be something that comes up to be presented to you all once we get a little further into the project. But been probably 6-7 years. Hank was working on this as city planner I got pulled into it a little bit. It was when Stephen Hauser was here, so it's been a long time coming, but we're finally getting some headway. It's something that I think we'll all be proud of eventually once we get there. So these things just touch the surface of all the projects and the programs that I am proud to say that Main Street has done or is involved in. So thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about all that and just kind of blabber all of what I think we should all be proud of, and I hope you guys are too, and that kind of explains why our budget is important. Unless y'all have any questions, that's all I've got.
A comment, and that is that everything seems to be snowballing. And as far as the first Fridays, as far as participation in just about anything. And that's good. That's fantastic. Not only shows what you're doing collectively, but also shows how beautiful of an attraction that we have here, and that when people come down, they, and especially in a different setting of not running in a store or whatever, they realize what a special place this is.
Let me also say that Carly has become our de facto communications person. She and Melba, anytime we have to get information out about anything that's happening with the city, especially from a utility standpoint, I text them and email them literally all hours of the night. And as soon as they see what I have sent them, they get it posted on our website and on our social media sites. So I'm appreciative of that. There are some cities who have the luxury of having people who do nothing but that. We do not have that in Milledgeville, but these two folks step up to the plate, and I'm appreciative of that, because obviously getting information out about anything that's happening in the city, especially if it's in an emergency situation, we need to be able to do that, and these folks have done that, and I appreciate that. Carly actually set me up where I could put stuff on Facebook, and then I deleted my Facebook page, and so I can't do it anymore. But I'm appreciative of them doing that very, very quickly and very well anytime that I call on them to do that.
Thank you.
All right, and we will continue in our random order as they are listed on the agenda. I believe I'm following correctly, and that is going to be the Building Department and Planning and Zoning with our new building official. He's still new. He's not new to the city, but he's new in his role, Scott Johnson.
Hi. I'm Scott Johnson. I think most of you know me. I'm glad to be here.
We know you, we just don't recognize you with all this dressed up. You're looking sharp, though, I've got to tell you.
Well, you know, I'm a beggar. I'm coming to beg. So, new to the budget, I looked over the budget. It looked pretty good shape. I knew we were hiring a building inspector. We were looking for one at this time, so I added money there for education. That's for a little more education for that job. We have hired someone. His name's Hunter Giesman. If you haven't met him, I think he's a real asset to the city. He's very knowledgeable. Day one, he was impressive. He went to work, and he's a hands-on guy that he jumped into any role in the city. He's the guy that wants to help get the job done. So I'm real glad to have Hunter. Send him to our first class. Send him to his first class, his first week. It's Friday, so you know it's already paying off some of the training. That was really the only thing I increased. There's a couple of other things that we're going to have to buy this year. We haven't done building code books since 2018. You know, the city adopts whatever the state of Georgia adopts. The state of Georgia hadn't adopted a new code book since 2018. So we're looking for that this year. And it seemed like 2018 you could buy a bundle of books for $700-800. Well, I was looking online. I'm afraid it's $1,500 to $1,800. everything's gone up. I guess books are one of those things just skyrocketed. Maybe we'll get a bundle. There were no bundles found. My other big thing, the one thing I'm here to ask, outlay, is we need to do something with our storage, and I think we're in the same boat as the fire department, with our records, our files, our plans. We're out of space. I would love for each one of you to come see what we do and what we're working with. We really need to get this electronic. I need to talk to Ken. We need to replace our plotter. Our plotter doesn't work. It's from 1999. There's no more spare parts. There's no more fixing it. It's just dead. I think Sandra worked on it for about 4 straight days. I'm not exaggerating. It's just gone. Talked to Ken. Ken kind of gave me an idea of what prices are. A plotter that would work. Not a cheap one, not Amazon's best, but one that really works. Probably $5,000 to $6,000 range. I think the one we have now in 1999 was about $10,000. I also learned that a plotter prints in more definition than a printer. It's just a higher definition printer, what the plotter is. And we like to have a dedicated server for that. Like to have a dedicated server for storage. Because with every set of plans, I get a thumb drive. So I have years of thumb drives. If we could get that all onto the system, that would be fantastic. Ken says I think we need a terabyte, 1 terabyte. One's good, 2's probably better. I don't know. But somewhere to get the plotter and the screen to monitor it, so you can do the plan review, all electronic, you can plug it in, plan review it, the architect can email you back and forth. Kind of just modern technology now. I think we're lacking there. I don't know cities our size, probably not, but bigger cities or electronics. So probably somewhere in the $10,000 range to get something that actually works, a system that will actually work. We could scan in our files from our contractors, our permit files, all our permits, scan them in, create that folder, scan everything into that folder. Scan in pictures from the job site. All that would be on that file for the next person, whoever comes after me. I may not benefit from it as much as the next person would, but it would already be in place. And so when the guy walks in and says, hey, what about that job years ago? Well, they might not remember it, but they could easily pull that record up. I think, like I said, the fire department, they're just out of room. We're out of room. We have old stuff I'd like to get rid of. So, if I could tell you about Walmart for a second. Walmart's still remodeling if you've been there. So, Walmart likes to plan a year in advance. So I got those plans for Walmart that they're doing now. I got March 3rd, 2023. Paper plans. I weighed them the other day. They're 46.5 pounds.
Good grief.
They are. And I walk around them every day. And if we could get all that electronic, it would just save space, it would save paper. It would be much more convenient, so when we go back to the architect, let's say we look at these plans and we go, well, whatever, your dumpster's too close to the building, you gotta move that, fire hazard, whatever it is, the architect could just simply make that one adjustment, email us that file, and we'd have it. Instead of going back and emailing us another set of plans. Same thing with Robert back here, Robert Haddon. He always needs a set of plans, or he wants to know, well, where's water and sewer going? I always got to go through Robert, we need building. There's no water and sewer, how they connect them, what they're doing, I don't know, Robert. But easily print that one plumbing page off those set of plans, give him a physical one-page copy for him to approve or not approve. He can just throw it away. We still have the electronic file. So that's my big ask is, we gotta buy books, a little more money for training, and a little more technology, a little more modern. Something a little more modern, something a little easier. I think build that good database, because we don't have it now. Got thumb drives stored in Ziploc bags. That's kind of where we're at now. But I'd really like if you would just stop by and I can show you where we're at now. What I'd like to do. We can also record all our plats on there. But I'm reading, Bo, you probably know more, but some of these buildings, we're supposed to have plans for the life of the building. I don't know really how you do that. We've lost plans and lost plans. Got destroyed out of leaky roof. It's a challenge. I'd like to at least get them all in. That's all. Really not asking for all money.
I can tell you all that as of about 2 weeks ago, when I had the opportunity to walk the trail that they helped fund part of with Lily Weinberg from Knight Foundation, we now have $25,000 to get this electronic process started from the Knight Foundation. So we are headed in that direction, and as we go through these budget conversations, we'll be having a lot of conversation about IT. So.
Yeah. Talking about it.
So it's coming, Scott.
It would be wonderful. Like I said, it's 46 pounds of 12-month plants.
Well, they obviously have followed them well, because I can't find a thing in there.
Can't. That's all right. Does anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will wrap this up tonight with Public Works, our Public Works Director, Tim Thomas. And he came with a thumb drive, so give me a minute to get it called up.
Good evening. Y'all can hear me?
Got stormwater in West Charlton and Ian. Which one is it?
Let's see here.
Did you grab the wrong thumb drive?
Been down. It's stormwater.
Nothing in the, doesn't look like anything in the directory. Let's see right here.
Do you have access to?
Public Works Summary 2024?
That's it.
Ah, that's a PDF. Now I see. All right, now we in business.
All right, good. Good evening to all. First, I want to thank City Council and manager, you all, for your support over the years. You all have been generous to Public Work, and for that we are able to build a strong group of workers at Public Work. And I think their work shows for what you all have done and the support. With the last pay adjustment, we've been able to attract some skilled workers, craftsmen. Now, the key gonna be to keep them. That's gonna be our challenge. And part of our request will reflect that and give you some objectives and how we can accomplish that and retain the guys that we have. We'll start with our summary. We'll go through it, and once we complete, you all can ask any question. So you go ahead, Mr. Cheatham.
We have requested several positions and equipment for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 to meet current demands and to better serve our community. Our request positions are needed to enhance employee morale, maintain right-of-ways, and meet the demands of our environmental change. Yard trimming collection fees are averaging $90,000 per year. Investing in a grounder will divert product from landfill to citizens and vendors. One of our goals is to concentrate to the downtown area by designating limb truck crew to cover the inner city perimeter while the north side and south side limb trucks continue to serve their route. Public Works struggles to meet the demands of daily operations with current equipment, authorized police, and dated infrastructure. Therefore, we are in search of the following requests.
Okay, our goal is to develop and support a workforce that is infrastructure savvy. And our objective to meet this request, number one, we want to establish and maintain a competitive pay scale. You all have done that last year, so the key now is to maintain it and sustain it with the environmental changes. Number two, we are asking that we reinstate the pay incentive for this certification and CDL license. Now, the certification should all consist of an exam. We once had that in place where we got a 5% adjustment. Now, to keep these guys hungry, we got to feed them. And it's one way to do it. We got to give them incentive so they can go get educated on their job. We got to do that. Also, number three, we need to provide training along with an access management system. And we back to IT again. We're moving into the future. We gotta be able to keep up with the demands. And the only way I'm with the city manager. If we're gonna use an asset management, we gotta get our people's educated and familiar with the system. We have to. And the only way to do that is we gotta provide the training along with it. So no need of having it, let it sit still. Number four, for all, we need to develop a master plan for infrastructure upgrade and growth. And that master plan would allow you all, council, and us to dictate how our city will grow and how we want it to grow. You see, and the only way to do that is you gotta have a comprehensive master plan. You gotta have it. It's you, Ms. Lisa. 5.
Number 5, positions. A, public works inspector to provide quality assurance for infrastructures throughout the community. B, public works coordinator. Coordinate maintenance with subcontractors for right-of-ways, cemeteries, parks, and greenway. C, would be yard trimming collection supervisor. Supervise yard trimming collection department and recycling center. The 6th part of that is equipment and vehicles. A, 1 F-250 mechanic service truck for the central shop. D, Ford Ranger for public works administration.
C, 1 F-550 dump truck, non-CL downtown detail. 2D, 2 John Deere tractor, cemetery park. E, 399 cat track loader, stormwater department. F, chipper, yard trim collection, grinder, public work recycling center.
All right. Okay, so these are some of the projects that Public Work has maintained so far. The top left is North Jefferson Street corridor. So far, you all provided the street sweeper, and we've been able to kind of keep the downtown area clean. we struggle with maintaining this. We kind of hot and cold. We hit and miss it. A couple of things we have is injury and medical condition. We have probably 3 guys out with a heart condition and stuff of that nature. So we gotta bring some more guys in, and the only way that I see to do that, we gotta get some more top end skier positions in place, and let the labor position stay. If you got one guy that's driving the sweeper, because he's heavy equipment operator, and he out, and he's CDL driver, we don't have anybody else to replace him. Bird Street over here. This resurfacing was done by street department, our street department, in-house, and they did a great job. And so, in order to offset some of these costs, we got to continue to build that workforce, and they're doing it. We got to maintain it. We got to keep it. If you go down to the bottom left, we got to start thinking innovative. And kind of get away, let the environment is telling us, hey, we got to get away from this traditional type thinking. So if we become innovative, if you look to the right, the picture on the right, you see the we call them rip wrap, but those stones over there around that pipe, that's the traditional way of doing things. We constantly have to make that. It's difficult to cut it with the grass, and it doesn't look as appealing. But if you look here to the left, see this guy, this Mr. Merritt. Now this is a highly skilled asphalt guy right here, and concrete guy. We are blessed to have this guy right here. We want to keep it. Now this project he's working on, that's the same area where he's pouring that concrete around the flume, with all the flume that's in, where the stones are. Now once we cap these flumes with the concrete, we won't get the washing of soil erosion because of the stones. We want to be trying to replace the stones, and people can cut, and it look good, look better. That would last probably 20 years more than those riprap. So that's the type of thinking and mindset that we at Public Works are trying to do and accomplish. We are doing. Let's put it like
This is poured over the stone?
no, sir. We don't.
Or in place of?
In place of the stone.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
We call it concrete capping around the flume,
Right.
around the flare. And that'll prevent the washing and erosion.
Yeah. Plus having to come back and take care of it and
Yes, sir, we done.
pile it back up and
Right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. Plus, when the soil erodes, it slide down and start to build up around the pipes, the inlets. So this right here is going to do
Won't have to keep going back unstopping ditches.
that. Right now, we probably have about a year worth of time to clean out ditches. We have a long list.
Where you have those stones and the riffraff and stuff, could you go over it with concrete?
No,
Or you
ma'am.
can't?
Well, it depends on the contour. Some of them may be sunken in. We may use it. We could use that stone as a bed and we'll cap over the top. It just depends on the situation. And you won't even know the stones are there. But in this case, we took them out and we put that concrete cap. That's on Irwin Street. In fact, this project is underway now. Overall, our requests, they are needed. And like I said in the past, y'all been generous. And if you keep being generous, we'll produce work. But that's it. If you all have any questions, Miss Lisa here for budgeting. She can answer those questions. Mr. Cheatham can ask any question about the yard trim collection, especially with the grinder.
Yeah. All right. Am I reading this price on this grinder?
Yeah, that grinder hurts your feet.
What's your favorite?
That one right there hurt.
In
We would
regards,
obviously weigh it with what we're paying now for tipping fees, and,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, there would be some swapping out. And I mean, there also, as Mr. Thomas said, that it would be some environmental advantage. We would have mulch that we could provide to citizens, and we could use on public works projects, and so.
So is it movable, or is it the grinder itself, or is it pretty much stationary where you'd have it at the recycling center, or mobile? It ought to drive itself. Good.
see, we'll be able to drive from the recycle center up to the landfill up top.
Okay.
And so we could take that one, you could take on site, which we wouldn't necessarily have to take it on site unless we do
Right.
a project like for Rob, Haddon, Clear. That one will stay stationary, you can move it around the yard.
I'll make
Does
sure
it
you all
require,
see a
does
copy
it
of that.
require CDL driver?
No,
and
ma'am,
heavy
it's-
equipment operator?
No, man.
It's driven by remote control.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah. For that kind of price, it needs to do something.
Does it talk?
Well, actually, the one, I don't know, the ones
What's
that,
that?
the stationary ones, they're like, you probably could get one for about 800,000.
Okay.
But you gotta move it, and they actually dangerous now. The big tubs they used to have in the day, they throw debris. That one doesn't. You feed it. You already have bought the loader and the excavator that feeds it. We already have that.
Okay, so this is just the rest of the equipment.
That's it. We're building.
Okay. How far out would that be? Because we order stuff now and it takes 2 years to get here. So with that, do you have any idea what type of time frame
Now,
you're looking at?
when we spoke with him, he had one on site.
I was just about to say, Tim is the department head that you don't want to tell him the money's available, because he will bring it tomorrow. I'm not sure how he finds things unlike the other department heads, but if Tim knows that there's even a possibility that the money's there,
I know that
he's
last
at least
thing
gonna
he-
bring it for me to look at.
The last thing he ordered, they did that, and he got it on us. Wait, how did you get that so quick? 'Cause we thought it was going to take you 2 years to get it.
It's a team, all of them together.
So to sum this up, you asking for 530,000.
No, man, that would be 1 point for that one particular machine, overall.
Overall.
We don't have that number.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm looking at it wrong then. I hope I am.
What's he talking about, 530,000? Because you're talking about $1 million for one piece of equipment.
Well, and just remember what I share with the department heads is I tell them, come and ask, okay? And obviously we'll get to work in paring it down to what it needs to be. But
Right.
so some of, at least at least one of his equipment vehicle requests will be taken care of through our enterprise fleet management
That's what
program.
I was gonna ask.
If you remember, we will be replacing 29 vehicles this first year. 20 of those are PD vehicles, and we're going to take the other 9 and farm them out to different departments. But we have spent some money on equipment.
Yes, sir.
Last 2 years. We needed to, and we have. Tim and Robert tag teamed me on a track hoe that has a mulching head on it, and they're using it to not only trim right-of-ways but also to cut sewer easements. So we're spending our money wisely in a manner that it can be, the equipment that we buy can be used in this situation between 2 different departments. So we have done that. We will continue to do that as much as possible. And some of that information will be coming to you regarding the the final expenditures of the 2012 SPLOS.
All right. Is that any more questions?
But I do want to commend you along with your team for the great job that you all do for the city of Milledgeville. I mean, you all go above and beyond. And even down to Miss Lisa, when you call or, with a request, I mean, rapid response. And I just want to say thank you all, and make sure you tell all your employees that we appreciate the services that they're providing.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks. Go home now.
One last question. I got one more question about that grinder, because
Yes, sir.
I'm interested in this baby.
Okay.
It would provide mulch
Yes, sir.
for the community.
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
that's
We'd
all.
be wanting them to come get it.
Okay. That's our intention, but we also have an idea of having some for the vendors,
Uh-huh.
like the industrial milling companies, where we can help offset the cost, where they may bring out a we call it a chipping van, and they bring it out, and set it on site, and we know that they'll perhaps pay us or they'll move it free. So that's another offset.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I can see where it would, eventually pay for itself, especially with longevity. But,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
And so now I will ceremoniously pass out the budget. This obviously is the first draft. We're not gonna dig into it tonight. We're gonna continue on with the meeting agenda, but next Tuesday on the 30th will be our first called budget work session where we're gonna get on this. And the only thing that is not included in this information, all of what the departments have requested is, so we obviously will use that as a start to our discussion. But what is not in this is anything in terms of salaries. As we did last year, we will look at that separately, and so that we can keep track of what those increased costs may be, depending on what you all decide to do. And that is actually what we will tackle first, because I think that will then give us some idea about what we're looking at in terms of additional funds for operating cost. Things continue to go up. I thought they would settle down a little bit by this point in time, but they have not. And it's just, as Carly said, it's the cost of doing business. And my car and house insurance goes up every year, and that's what my agent tells me. It's the cost of doing business. And that's truly what's happening. Our people do wonderful work, and we just have to work hard to make sure that they have the equipment and the compensation to be able to continue to provide the services to the city that they are, and we will get down in the weeds with that beginning next week. Ms. Shenos, if it's okay, I'll just move on into my city manager's report. It's going to be pretty quick. You all have resolution 2404-21 before you tonight, where you are authorizing a construction contract with Roberts Roofing to re-roof 6 buildings at the wastewater treatment plant. You have that contract in front of you. We received quotes from requested quotes from 4 different vendors, received quotes from 3 vendors. Roberts was the lowest quote. So we went with him. Plus, they have done work for us in the past, and we've been very pleased with it. Mr. Thomas vetted the information that's in the contract, and Robert made sure that it covered the buildings that needed to be covered at the wastewater treatment plant. These buildings have needed repair and replacement for quite some time. And this is extremely important for us to do right now because it was actually, some of these roofs were actually mentioned in the EPD inspection that the last time they came through the wastewater treatment plant. So we need to get those taken care of because we have shared with EPD that this contract would be before you. I mentioned a couple of things in my biweekly report to you in terms of some dates, and I would like to, if we could nail those down tonight. First of all, the county has requested a joint meeting to have a conversation about the possibility of a roundabout at North Jefferson and Log Cabin in Sinclair Dam Road. I have shared with them that we have a called work session already scheduled for next Tuesday, April 30th. And if it was agreeable to you all, we would have them come at 5:30. We would spend the first 30 minutes of that call work session talking about the roundabout, and then the outside agency directors will present their budget request, and then we'll get into actually beginning to look specifically at the requests that have been part of the budget. So the county manager has shared with me that that date works for them. So since everyone, I think, is already planning to be here at 5:30 next Tuesday, is everybody in agreement to have them come in the first 30 minutes and share the information with us that they want to about the possibility of the roundabout there? Okay. All right. I will notify Mr. Tobar that that can happen, and that's the way we will start our meeting next Tuesday on the 30th at 5:30. Also, I included in my biweekly report just a reminder that we have called work sessions scheduled on alternate Tuesdays when we don't have a regular meeting scheduled until we get a budget done. I would like for us to be able to pass a budget by the first meeting in June if possible, because the second meeting in June will be canceled based on it being the last day of the Georgia Municipal Association convention and training that's going on there. So I think we can get to that point pretty quickly. So I look forward to meeting with you all on those call work session days, and we'll certainly be using the time at the beginning of our regularly scheduled meetings to discuss that as well. One of the things we made during budget time last year was a change in the structure of our meetings. So we no longer have work sessions before the meeting. It's just all one meeting. But my general thought process is we will use the time that we typically take for my report, as well as some additional time if necessary, to have discussions about the budget in our regularly scheduled meetings. I just want to wrap up by mentioning something that I also shared with you all in my biweekly report, but just to mention while Tim and Terrell are here, as you all know, there was a day of service in Milledgeville this past Saturday where I think it turned out to be about 230 GMC cadets, wasn't it, Terrell? Participated in helping do various work around our community. A lot of it within the city limits of Milledgeville, Westview Cemetery, Memory Hill Cemetery, Bone Cemetery. They did some trash cleanup work. I shared with you the areas that they were going to be working, and the public works staff that assisted them with that and provided coordination for that. So I appreciate those folks coming in and working on Saturday to do that. I appreciate the GMC cadets being a part of that, and KMBB fed them lunch when they got finished, and we also made a donation to help with that luncheon or that lunch in the back parking lot behind City Hall. So I think we've got some exciting things coming down pipeline with KMBB. Mr. Thomas already has monthly road cleanup scheduled at least through the end of this calendar year. We're going to be working with KMBB to make some of those cleanups, some of the adopt a road pieces, for some folks that are interested in being able to do that as we work through KMBB. So I'm excited about where we're headed. Our folks will be out with those people when they're doing the road cleanups for safety, and they obviously will be transporting the trash back to the recycling center and to not advanced waste management. Boy, I went way back in my mind then, didn't I? Waste management to dispose of that trash. So that's all I'm going to talk about tonight, just so that we can move on with the meeting. But obviously, if you have questions about any of that or anything that's going on that I can answer for you, then please feel free to ask. Thank you, Ms. Shinoster.
Thank you. Any questions for the city manager? Okay, we'll move on with the agenda. We don't have any old business, so I'll move to new business and ask the clerk to read Resolution R-2404-21 by caption.
A resolution to authorize a construction contract with Roberts Roofing to re-roof 6 buildings at the water treatment plant.
You've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt. Second.
Is there any discussion?
Ms. Shinoster, I would just clarify that's actually at the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
I think the resolution reads that way.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Building out the wastewater treatment.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. We have one alcohol license application for Metropolis Cafe in their new location. I'll ask the clerk to present the application.
This is for Deepak Kumar on behalf of Metropolis Cafe, located at 111 North Wayne Street. Is for beer, wine, liquor, Sunday sales, and catering consumption on premises.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
I'll just make a note that this will be pending the CO to be issued by the state fire marshal, but we anticipate that probably will come along pretty quickly. This is the project that's being completed in the old Cordell Farm Supply, and was actually a revolving loan fund project. So the city has had a bunch of pieces in there. Deepak, you want to give us a date when you think we may be able to come dine with you? Okay. Okay.
Wow, okay. Wow.
Thank you,
Looking
Ms.
forward
Shields.
to it.
Great.
I know you're excited. Yes.
Is there a need for a closed session?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
there
ma'am.
is.
For pending litigation.
And personnel.
Okay. So can I have a motion?
I move that we go into closed session for pending litigation and personnel.
Second.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
Okay, if you all would bear with us, we should be returning shortly. Close. to call the roll.
Well, do I need to get a motion and a second to come back in?
Oh, yeah. We need a motion to open the
Motion
meeting.
that we're back in session.
Second. Thank you. Ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
All right, so Dr. Lee,
Here.
Ms. Walden,
Here.
Ms. Shinholster,
Here.
Ms. Mapp,
Here.
Mr. Chambers.
Here.
Okay. That concludes the items on the agenda. Does anyone from council, Dr. Lee, have any comments
Yes, I'm gonna take my mask
or
off now.
announcements?
We had our training board meeting today with the GMA, and a lot of talk was about the annual training. Right now, they having renovations going on at the convention center. Convention center will not be completed. So if you have classes on Saturday only, they will be at the Marriott on Riverfront. But everything else will still be at the convention center. All right. So you all will get email or text or something before time, letting you all know that your class have been changed from the original place. It also will be on the ticket. We're not too sure when, but it will be on there. Also, we've been working on the Mayor's Leadership Academy for the last year. It's been going on before a year, but we have completed it. And there will be an open session for it on the 31st of August at the University of Georgia in Athens. This is mainly for mayors. There have been a lot of complaints about mayors' attitudes, their roles, not knowing their roles and what to do. This academy will be for leadership for that. Also for the ferry, the shuttle bus, whether you fly by airplane or whatever else, make sure that you go to it before time, because there's going to be a lot of changes with that because of the renovation with the convention. Okay, but again, you all will get emails, texts, or whatever else in time for that. And remember, it's June the 20th through the 25th. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Is there any other comments?
I want to tell you that the Central State Hospital has changed their meeting time from the third Wednesday to the third Tuesday. So I go, but if it falls on a council meeting night, and the same with Mr. Craig, if it falls on a night that we have to have a meeting, I'll come here rather than going there.
So you said there's on the third Tuesday now?
Yeah, but it depends on how it falls.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's the third Tuesday now instead of on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Do you think they'll revisit that?
I talked to them, but I don't know. They have several members that had a problem with Wednesdays, so they went to Tuesdays, and then I had a problem with Tuesdays.
Yeah, well,
But-
Tuesdays tend to cause issues with elected officials'
Yes,
meetings.
and it's supposed to be one from the city and one from the county, and sometimes it affects me, sometimes it affects them.
Okay. Why not Thursday?
I don't know. I've talked to Mr. Grant about it, and he's looking into it. He's supposed to let me know.
Okay, if there's no more announcement, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Dr. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Walden,
Aye.
Ms. Shinholster,
Aye.
Ms. Mapp,
Aye.
Mr. Chambers.
Aye.
Okay.